preceding act, Van Dorn, alias the Tiger Man, gained Hardy's confidence and booked passage with him aboard the Monsoon. Murphy, intent on double-crossing the gang, closed his bargain with the captain of the Monsoon concerning the passage of himself and his crony. Later, Allen, a member of the gang, was sent through a trap door into the river when Murphy discovered he knew their plan. Murphy, rifling Greenway's safe to obtain money, was trapped by Greenway, but escaped. And he and his Confederates, attempting to board the Monsoon, were waylaid by the gang, and a terrific motorboat battle ensued.
Carter, keep a weather eye open. The glass is falling. Aye, aye, sir. What do you mean?
I can't say anything yet. But if them 3 men who come aboard last night are who I think they are, we'll be sitting pretty.
You don't like that mate any more than we do.
I like him worse, if that's any news to you. I ain't forgot the last trip we made before we hit Simang.
Hello, Lizzie.
Think Lizzie, she's sick. She not here today.
What's the matter with her?
Think she might be sick.
Lizzie, you seasick? Try giving her some of that warm milk, Ollie.
Yes, sir.
We'll take that.
A woman's work is never done.
Skidder Williams. I'm a bad word if it ain't.
Say, what are you two Lannisters doing on this ship?
Nick's cracking. You see, we lit in Samang hotter than a couple of firecrackers.
Yeah, we thought it was a swell spot for a hideout.
Are you telling this, stupid, or am I?
You are with my assistant.
We ain't in Samang long before Calcutta tipped off the law. So we grabbed the first thing that'll get us out on a whiz, and this boat happened to be it.
Are you boys figuring on making this your life's work?
Maybe you know something we can do while we're laying off between times.
I haven't had a chance to look this layout over yet. Just got aboard last night, but there's no telling. I'll contact you boys from time to time during the trip. But remember, don't crack if you see me talking to anybody.
All right.
Up that river, down that river.
Hey, Shopper, you better get the captain's chow ready. He's waiting for us.
You go ahead and put them dishes on the table and I'll fill them. Now you do your stuff and I'll do mine. Another thing, sailor. Well, when it comes to feeding them wild human animals, I know my business.
What do you want? If you don't stop fooling around, I'm going to bust you right on the nose.
Sock who on the nose? Now, listen, sailor, let's get along now. And you come at that socking on the nose, bitter, that's out. Sock me on the nose. Oh! Oh. Was that you in here talking? Forgive me, great Jehovah. When the wild beasts of the field start to talking, old Gable is tuning up his horn. Oh, yes, in the judgment day, right around the corner. Oh, amen.
You don't get me.
You mean that Hardy's on this ship?
Sure, he booked passage with a young girl named Elliot and an old battle axe whose name I forget.
Looks like we're on the spot. I'm afraid we'll have to take the boatswain's proposition as the only way out.
The CID at Samang.
What do you mean?
Williams recognized Hardy. It's a cinch that Hardy recognized Williams. How can we stop them?
I've got it. The wireless.
Somebody's got to bust that up before they can contact the cops back at Samang.
Are you sure, Mr. Hardy? I'm positive it was Williams. I had a good chance to recognize him. Well, do you think he saw you? No. What would you suggest as our next move? I advise you to get in touch with Inspector McLeod at Samang. All right, I'll send a message immediately. Right. Contact Samang. I want to send a message to Inspector McLeod.
Here's news, Starrett. Williams, Murphy, and Coleman on board. Advised. Captain Lee.
Sounds good.
Send a message at once. Tell the captain to place them all under arrest. We'll pick them up at the monsoon's port of destination, Calpool.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to put the wireless out of commission without them getting wise?
By cutting the antenna system down.
By cutting the what down?
My dear Murphy, the aerial. That will at least delay them till we take control of the ship.
Well, you seem to know what you're talking about, Doc. Now, let me have your proposition again. I want to get it straight in my mind.
We take over the ship. I know a Yangtze River fence who will take over the entire cargo, including the ship.
How many of this crew can you get to come on our side?
Anyway, two, Blackie and Mig. And with you fellows, that's all we'll need.
Sure, I know the two monks he's talking about. They're old pals of mine.
But what about the rest of the crew and the passengers?
There's always ways to take care of them kind of details. Now, Dr. Coleman, it's up to you.
Bosun, if you'll oblige me with a pair of gloves and a set of wire cutters.
You'll find everything you need in my quarters.
Samang coming in now, sir. All right, take this message. What's the matter? Something wrong. We're not getting out. I'll fix it.
Yes? The operator says it's useless trying to contact the monsoon. Something must have happened to their wireless.
Tell them to keep on trying.
Hello, operator.
Well, what about it? I'm doing the best I can, sir.
Well, let me know when you get it fixed. Hello? Yes? Well, keep me posted. Weather Bureau reports the storm is developing into a typhoon.
That is serious.
Yes, all shipping has been warned.
Looks like we're getting that rough weather you promised us, Bosun.
Never mind the rough weather. We've got a job to do. We might as well crack down tonight.
That's what I say.
Okay. How do we work?
Just leave the captain to me and Mr. Murphy.
Well, if it ain't our old pal, the Tiger Man. Come on in.
How are you, Tiger?
Hello, William. Hello, Doc.
Tiger Man. Tiger, this is the bosun.
How do you do?
You. Sit down.
Hello.
Hello. I'm sorry to disturb you, ladies, but I'm afraid we're in for some bad weather. Williams, Murphy, and Pullman are on this boat.
Oh, no.
Yes, and I think you and Maitland had better stay in your cabin. I'll send Ollie to stay with you.
I understand.
Martin doesn't suspect me. I'll find out if he knows that you're aboard. Not a bad idea.
We'll wait for you here, Tiger.
Good. Tell the captain we can get his message through now, and some will be coming in. You stay in cabin till it's time for you.
Hey, get on deck. The pilots and fix their wires to everything. Oh, they are, eh? Come on.
No, you didn't need more. You plenty lifeboats. You get safe.
There. What did I tell you?
Wireless operator reports an SOS from a monsoon. Terrific storms raging. Now silence.
Oh, no. She must be afloat.
Stop. Have them try contacting other ships. Give them the monsoon's position.
The thought of Dorothy out there in that storm. I should never have allowed her to go. It's all my fault.
Wait a minute. The operator says...
What is it? What does he say?
Mutiny on board.
Mutiny.
Hello? Hello?
What is it, man? What is it?
What? Wireless has gone dead.
Come on deck. We've got to take the lifeboat.
Oh, wait for me! Wait for me!
Why did the Tiger Man join the gang aboard ship? Will Inspector McLeod trap the gang? What will happen to the passengers of the Monsoon? In the preceding act, Murphy and his confederates, discovering that Hardy knew they were aboard, planned to destroy the wireless to prevent the police being notified. But Hardy, one step ahead of the gang, told the captain to send a message to the Semang police. Inspector McLeod received the message, but was unable to contact the Monsoon as the wireless had been put out of commission by the gang. That night, in the midst of a terrific storm, the gang planned to take over the ship. As the ship foundered in the raging sea, there was mutiny aboard.
Well, it looks as though we're the only ones that got a break.
That ain't gonna make me mad.
Wonder where we are.
Well, all I hope is that this isn't Kelmer Island.
Why?
The natives there hate white men worse than poison.
Oh, yeah? You go with Williams, see if anything was washed up from the wreck. Blackie and I'll have a look from the top of these cliffs.
Okay.
Come on, Blackie.
Okay.
I swear, Mr. Hardy, I never was so tired of anybody's company in all my life.
What's the matter, Shovel? Don't you like apes?
No, sir. Not when I got to use one for porous plaster.
Well, let's get up top of those cliffs and see where we are.
Yes.
I guess we're all that's left.
Oh.
Mulligan! Mulligan! Gone.
Goodbye. And if you never come back, you'll be plenty soon enough for me.
Well, I guess he saw a chance to get back to his native jungle, and I don't blame him after what he's gone through. Well. There goes one of them. And there goes the other one.
Here we go, too.
Sure some climb up those cliffs.
What do you think of this for a spot to pitch camp?
Suit yourself.
Why, Miss Elliot.
Mason and Mr. Hardy, have they been saved?
Well, I don't know.
What are we going to do?
Just take it easy. We'll make a search.
What are you here for? Well, can't you see I'm not properly dressed? Oh, well, if you want me to tell you something, why don't you speak English? Well, I wonder if you're trying to tell me some of the others are here.
Yeah, we'll have to do better than this if we expect to finish this shelter before nightfall.
Say, listen. If you ever mention to a soul we're here together in a place like this, you're no gentleman.
Why, the island's inhabited. Hey! Hey there!
Hey, buddy! I guess he don't understand our language.
If he don't, well, we'll see where he's going. Murphy and Williams have been gone long enough, don't you think?
I don't know.
They won't find anything from that ship washed up on the beach. What was that?
I don't know.
Sounded like a woman's voice. It came from over here.
Sure not?
What do you think you're doing? What do you care?
scream came from over in the direction of the camp. Dorothy!
Oh. Get some water, Shuffle.
Right now.
Why, Dorothy, you're all right. Tell me what happened.
Look there. Why, it's a tiger. How'd you get here?
No time for explanation now. Did you hear that woman scream?
Yeah, it came from over there.
Let's go.
Then they began to fight. They fell off the edge of the cliff. It was terrible.
And what became of the rest of them?
They went to the beach to see if they could find anything we might use.
Well, there's one thing certain, Dorothy. I've got to get you away from here. Something's happened to Shuffle.
Maybe he's hurt.
You stay here, Dorothy. I'll go and see.
Just так, как нема. Just vamos, так. Just так.
Dorothy! Dorothy! Listen.
What's that?
Signal drums.
Signal what?
That's the way the natives signal from one village to another.
Sounds like they're getting together.
From the looks of things, they already have. There goes the trail. Come on. Looks like they went off in this direction here.
And another thing, I don't like the sound of them drums.
Why not?
Seem like me to keep saying yum, 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 yum.
Well, come on, we've got to follow this trail. Silo! They've captured a white woman. Abala wola. Hey. What can I
Well, Nella, come on.
I'm positive, Shuffle, that was a woman's voice we heard.
You're getting so that you can hear things, Mr. Hardy. Look yonder. Here come bad news coming back home again. Come here, Mulligan.
Well, what are you trying to tell us? You know where Miss Dorothy is? I believe he does.
You know one thing, for a monkey that can't talk, every time that ape opens his mouth, he sure says a mouthful.
Well, let's put him down on the ground and follow him.
Sure something there, Mulligan. Go ahead now.
How do you do?
You're a white man. You speak English.
Naturally.
What are you doing here?
I might ask the same thing of you.
I was shipwrecked.
Well, that was my case, too. Only many years ago. I came here, and I liked it. You know, I never did care for what the world calls civilization.
But you'll help me?
Well, I'm afraid that's going to be more difficult than you imagine.
I don't understand.
Well, your ship brought to this island a number of ferocious beasts. A thing that it had never known before. And it has killed a great many of the natives.
But those animals came ashore with the wreck the same as I did.
Well, I hope you can explain that to the chief of the tribe. For your own sake, I hope you can. Shall we go?
Please.
Chile, hombre.
The wreckage of the monsoon was reported 200 miles south of here.
Really? Did they report any survivors?
Not a living soul. You can imagine how badly that makes me feel.
Yes. I feel the same way.
Well, we lost the rubber, but that was more than compensated for by the removal of Coleman, Williams, the Tiger Man, and Murphy. Ah, but you forgot Mr. Hardy.
So I did. You know, that man was dynamite to us.
Do you speak English?
Speak English little bit.
From what I see around here, I told you we were shipwrecked, and that's all there is to it.
Bad animals from ships eat up my people.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. Oh, I'm Dorothy! Oh! Oh!
Mr. Hardy.
Well, you don't know how glad I am that you girls are safe.
Mr. Hardy, this is Mr. Saunders.
Amagulu.
What does he say? Well, perhaps I'd better explain. This lady will tell you how I happen to be here. I am the chief's advisor. He takes my word for everything, except things religious. I'm afraid I don't understand. A number of animals have escaped from your ship and have killed a number of our people. Well, I don't see how we could be blamed for that. Well, we are a simple people. We believe in the old adage, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If you wish to live, for every native that has been killed, you will have to remove an animal from the island, or expect to see a white man sacrifice. A life for a life.
What is the past of the mysterious white man? Will the gang discover Hardy on the island? Will Hardy fulfill the chief's bargain? preceding act, Murphy, Williams, and two sailors were found on an island where they had been washed ashore after the shipwreck. Hardy and Shuffle, also saved from the wreck, came across two tigers fighting for supremacy. Later, Murphy was surprised by the appearance of Dorothy, who had been found by Williams and the sailor. Dorothy, working alone in their shelter, was captured by natives and taken to the native village. Hardy and Shuffle, on Dorothy's trail, entered the village and were told by Saunders to remove the wild beast from the island or a white man would be sacrificed.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so late.
Would you care for another drink?
No, thank you. No more. I have an appointment downstairs with Tom for luncheon.
Shall I get the new shipment of rubber for the Molio?
Yes, by all means. Do it, Roger. Right away.
Very well, sir.
Au revoir. Kept you waiting.
You've heard the news? About the monsoon?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Well, come on. Why should you take it so to heart?
The thought of what Frank, Hardy, and Dorothy must have gone through. Sometimes I can't help feeling responsible.
Well, why should you feel responsible?
I urged Dorothy to make the trip.
Yes, but even so, you didn't know the ship was going to strike a typhoon.
That's true.
Then why blame yourself for something no one could foresee?
You don't understand. I love Dorothy.
And I'm sure she loved you, too.
I'll never feel satisfied that Dorothy's really lost until I've searched every one of those islands down there. Uncle, would you do two things for me?
Well, that all depends.
May I have the use of your yacht to make this search for Dorothy?
And what is the other request?
Would you look after the Elliott plantation while I'm away?
If it's going to make you any happier, bring you any peace of mind, I will.
Thanks, Uncle. You don't know what this means to me.
When will you sail?
This afternoon, if possible.
अंदर जाओ अंदर जाओ
Plenty fire, big fire, all time.
Mr. Hardy! Mr. Hardy, where are you?
Yes, Dorothy, here I am.
Are you all right?
Why, of course I'm all right. Don't you worry. You girls stay in the hut now. Go inside. Don't worry. What is he saying? He says the tiger. That you brought the tigers to the island to kill his people. Tell him that I'll capture the tiger. Amelia, what does he say? He says unless you rid the island of these wild beasts, you and your people will be sacrificed. Tell him that if he sacrifices my people, the curse of the tigers will remain upon the island. But if your people will help me, I'll rid the island of the curse.
Bongo, Amelia.
The chief agreed. But the ladies will be held as hostage. If you will free the island of the tigers, you will be set free. If not,
I heard what he said. They're going to...
Hey, William. Tiger. Come on, wake up. What do you want?
what's it all about?
Say, what are we going to do about something to eat?
There is food on the tree.
Yeah? I want more than that. You spent your whole life in the jungle, Tiger. How about you getting us some meat?
That, my friends, is very simple.
Well, if it's so simple, why don't you go and get some? I kept the fire burning on the point all night. Didn't let it die down once. Oh, if you'd set the whole island afire, a ship wouldn't come close enough to see it. Well, I hope you're wrong.
I'm afraid it's pretty hopeless, Captain.
I'm afraid it is.
That's all right. Come on, inside. Get this up. Yeah. Put this up there. Get up on top. Up on top. I get up there. Over that side. That's right. Come on, next spot. Hey, that's right. That's right. Here, boy, over here. Now, come on, up with it. Up with it. All right, tie it away. Tie it away. Come on, tie it. That's right. No. Tie it to that trigger. I showed you how I put that trigger in there. That's right. Tie it there. Tiger here, trigger, we catch him right away. That's fine. All right, good. Come on. All right. All right, get up this tree.
Why did we ever start on this trip? Think what our end will be.
Mr. Van Dorn, we're being held prisoners here. They intend to offer us up as a sacrifice unless Mr. Hardy can rid the island of the animals.
Oh, Mr. Van Dorn, you must try to help him.
Murphy and Williams are looking out for a boat. They're keeping a signal burning.
Murphy, is there help?
He'll do as I tell him. Hardy will capture the animals. And if the natives do not set you free then, we'll come back and we'll rescue you. Keep up your courage.
Well, that ought to satisfy your chief. We can just get the rest of them as easy as we got this fellow. We'll be all right. Come on, let's see the other traps, boys. Natives.
Where?
There. They're following.
Hey, we haven't got a chance in this jungle. Let's go down the beach.
Oh, Captain. What is that? Smoke. That's either a signal or a brush fire.
And the ship struck a reef in the storm and went to pieces. I tell you, it was terrible, Mr. Banning. Not a living soul got ashore but us two.
Are you positive? Did you search the island?
We've searched everywhere.
Is this island inhabited?
We haven't seen anything except the wild animals that come off the wreck.
All right. You two men come aboard the yacht.
Why did you say there were no others on the island?
Well, we didn't see anybody. It's Van Dorn.
Mighty glad to see you, Mr. Banning.
Hello, Van Dorn. Murphy and Williams here said there were no other people on the island. Do you know if anyone else is here?
Yes, Mr. Hardy, Miss Elliot, Maitland, and the ship's cook.
Is Dorothy safe?
They've been made prisoners by a tribe of Malay natives. Most of Hardy's animals escaped during the wreck. They killed some of those natives.
That's serious. We've got to rescue them. Let's start now.
There's no immediate danger. They've been promised freedom if Mr. Hardy manages to rid the island of those animals.
But how can he without his equipment?
I've seen him working with those natives. He has trapped some of those animals already.
Let's not lose another moment. How do we know those natives will keep their word?
Better take us with you, Mr. Banning. You might need help.
You're going aboard the ship. The captain has a few questions to ask you. Start these men. Let me those flashes. Better let me go with you, Mr. Banning.
No, we'll be all right, just so long as we have this.
How about you, Van Dorn?
Thanks, I have a spare.
Well, if we don't hear from you in 24 hours, we'll come and get you.
Fine. So long, mate.
So long.
What will happen to Dorothy in the native village? Will Saunders help Hardy and Dorothy? Will Murphy and Williams be brought to justice? In the preceding act, Tom Banning received his uncle's permission to use his yacht to search for Dorothy and Hardy. That night in the Malay village, Hardy rescues a native from a ferocious tiger. Later, Hardy was told by Saunders that the chief demanded he capture all the beasts on the island, or he and his friends would be sacrificed. Dorothy and Maitland were surprised by the appearance of the Tiger Man, who promised to help them escape from the village. Tom, about to leave the island with Murphy and Williams, was surprised to see the Tiger Man, who told him that Dorothy was a prisoner in the native village.
Proa, pequeñe.
Oh, listen, fellas, why don't you stop this? It ain't gonna do you no good holding me here. Say, listen, I got plenty of drag up to the city hall. Listen, either one of you fellas speak English?
Are you banging?
Ah, you from Chicago. Oh, you banging. I knew you all the time. Listen, let's cut off all this food. Listen, do either one of you know anything about these? Oh, no, you don't smell them. No, you shoot them. Oh, yes, like this. I tell you, men, in these things there is a hidden mystery. I tell you what you gentlemen do. Come right on in, and I'll show you where the mystery begins. Come on, fella, let's break down now. You're just ready for the initiation. Step right in, see? Now your first attitude is down on your knees. Yes, in an attitude. And you shake them, and you shake them, and you shake them and throw them out. See that? A step. I tell you, gentlemen, ain't nothing for you to do. Run on home and get your wives, your spears, anything of value, anything you can put your hands on. Oh, yes, that I can take away. Anything that'll suit a pawnbroker, see? Fella, what makes you look so easy? Tell him something, Chicago. The man don't know what I'm talking about. Dice. Nice, rich dice that brings you in fortune. Look at that, man. You speak of mysteries. Speak of one greater than that, huh? Voila.
He says sit down.
A boat has been sighted a short way from shore. Perhaps it's your friends who have come to rescue you.
We're saved.
You see, it wasn't nearly as bad as you girls expected.
I wonder if it's Tom.
Now, we'll soon find out. Saunders, I want to thank you. You've been very fine.
Oh, not at all. It was luck and your ability that got you out of this.
Well, if this should be a boat sent to rescue us, would you like to leave the island?
No, thanks. Civilization and myself parted company years ago. Perhaps it was best for both of us. I wonder if you understand.
I think I understand all right.
We're nearing the village.
Yes, I can see it through that clearing.
We'll go in. Don't be afraid.
I'm not.
Here come your friends.
Dorothy!
Thank heaven you're safe.
Well, hello, Van Dorn. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Tom, you're a welcome sight.
We've been cruising these waters for a week, but had just about given up hope that anyone was saved.
Well, we gave up hope a couple of times. Oh, Saunders.
Yes.
Meet Van Dorn.
You do.
And Tom Banning.
How do you do?
Very lovely, yes. Very lovely indeed. Mulligan, did you enjoy that? Oh, boy. What they don't know about dice. Boy, we was teaching them something, wasn't we?
Why, what's this, Shuffle?
Oh, these gentlemen have just been paying tuition for their instructions in the honorable and ancient game of African golf. Chief, come on. You is next.
We've got to figure a way out of this mess. The coppers at one end and the mob at the other, beginning to look like the curtain.
I think that covers everything, Captain.
We're sending a radio message to the police at Samang.
Prepare them for the arrival of Murphy and Williams.
I'd like to send a message.
Of course.
I want my uncle to know that Dorothy and Mr. Hardy are safe.
Sit here and write your message.
Thank you very much.
There you are, Tom.
Barrett, standing yacht, dock sometime tomorrow night.
Miss Elliott and Hardy's safe, eh? Huh. That's splendid. Murphy and Williams, eh?
Who think these men?
Expect any trouble?
I don't know. But whoever's the head of these rubber thieves has some means of getting information. And I have a feeling they don't want to see Williams and Murphy fall into our hands.
More anxious to get their hands on them than I am.
See, there's no slip-up. I want to see Murphy and Williams in this office.
Jay, Mr. Banning is in the car. Would like to see you for a moment.
Excuse me a moment, gentlemen.
You can take a walk, Watkins. I'll call you when you need it.
Yes, sir.
Who's that up there on the veranda?
Reed and Thompson. We're just closing a deal for a boatload of rubber.
Here, read this.
That's bad.
It's worse than that.
Why, if they fall in McLeod's hands, they're sure to spill the beans.
Exactly. That's why they must never reach the shore.
You mean...
Exactly what I said. Murphy and Williams must never reach the shore.
Well, how do you want me to...
I don't care how you accomplish it, just so long as it's done. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Watkins, we're ready to leave. Thank you so very much, Mr. Roger, for your kindness.
Not at all, Mr. Banning. Glad to be of help.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, mister.
All right, Watson.
Beautiful work of art. Don't you think so, my Oriental friend?
Very, very pretty.
And like all things beautiful, it has its deadly quality.
Very, very pretty.
Very neat invention, Professor.
Oh, Mr. Roger. Now my poor shop is on it indeed. And what brings you so far from the scenes of affluence?
I called on a rather delicate matter, Professor.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Sing. Sing. I'm pained. I'm shocked. You're forgetting your manners. Some tea for our illustrious guest. Chop, chop. Milk or lemon?
Neither, thank you.
As it should be.
Murphy and Williams are returning on the yacht which docks in a day or two.
Really?
And it's most important that neither of these gentlemen should reach the shore.
And?
And have them disappear.
For how long?
For a long, long time.
Yes, I think that might be arranged.
And how much will it cost?
That all depends. If you want them to disappear for a long, long time, that would be one price. But if you want them to disappear for a long, long, long time, that would be another price. So on, so on, so on.
I see. Now, how about the price?
Ah, yes. An important factor in any transaction of this sort.
I may as well tell you that Murphy and Williams are being held prisoners aboard Banning's yacht.
Oh, dear. How unfortunate. Because in that case, there is bound to be a slight extra charge.
I was waiting for that.
Very good, my dear companion of the Flowery Kingdom. You will now take the motorboat away while I remain here. Understand?
Understand so far?
Later on, you will take the motorboat and lay to at Devil's Island, just inside the channel. When the yacht comes in sight, expect me soon after that. Understand?
Understand.
Very good. Now help me cast off.
For the first time in my life, Captain, I'm really beginning to enjoy the ocean.
Really?
Well, I guess it won't be long now.
You figured a way out of this yet?
I ain't even trying.
What do you mean?
I'm taking no chances with the law. They'll always let you turn evidence to the prosecution and give you a break.
You mean you'd rat on the mob?
I'd sooner take a chance with the law than I would with Roger.
Yeah?
Well, I want to thank you again, Mr. Van Dorn. And I assure you that you made no mistake in your decision to tell all that you know about these rubber thieves.
I'm sure about that, and you have no idea how relieved I feel since I decided to make a clean breast of things.
Well, thanks again.
Yeah, come on, boy. Yeah. The captain, I kind of took a little liberty and I brought Skeeter along there. Is it all right?
Go ahead.
All right, boy. Start playing down on that juice organ. No more sleepy time, no more fishing line, no more loafing in the sun. No more hideaway in the new morn hay. People slave and work like cowhands every day. No more lingering laid by the garden gate, crooning to the gal you love. Or when you're feeling dry beneath the balmy sky, there's no more time to nip a bottle on the sly. Garden needs a hoeing, grass needs some mowing, but I would rather fish than hold a plow. The cattle need the water, seems like I oughta go back home and fill the trough right now. No more sleepy time, how my soul is fine for those good old days of yore. How my heart today seems to almost break, 'cause there's no more, no more, no more, no more, no more sleepy time.
Well, Chapo. Well, I'm sorry I missed that, Chapo.
Yes, sir. Well, I can go into another one if it's all right with the captain.
Why, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Hit it there, boy. Hit it. Get it.
Oh! Oh! Lower a boat.
Yes, sir. Should be passing Devil's Island very shortly. You ain't told us how you got here yet. Well, I certainly didn't come in a taxi.
What I can't figure out is how you got the captain to let you come down here and talk to us.
There is always a way of managing anything, my friend. Or, as the poet says, in all the lexicon of youth, there is no such word as can.
But what's the real reason of you being here? That's what I want to know.
Mr. Roger sent me. See that you get safely ashore.
So that's the gag, huh?
Gag?
You heard me. You ain't delivered me to Roger to be slaughtered like a dozen others. I'm going on the side of the law where I stand a chance.
Well, in that event, perhaps I shall go on the side of the law, too. If you know what I mean.
No, you don't. You ain't leaving this cabin until we dock.
I'd step away from that door if I were you, Mr. Williams. Step away, do you hear?
Why, you low-down hat. Oh!
Oh, dear. Oh, how unfortunate.
Well, what's the rest now?
Just as I thought. They're the lights of Devil's Island. The short swim. You think you can make it?
I'm positive.
Good. Our boat will pick us up before we're halfway there.
Yeah, but how about the sailor on guard outside that door?
All in good time, my impetuous friend.
I'm afraid those two men in there are hardened criminals and past all redemption.
That's my idea, too, sir.
I wonder if you have a cigarette.
I seldom smoke, but under the circumstances, I think one might quiet my nerves.
Certainly, sir.
Your bath is ready, Mr. Murphy.
Forward! Get forward and start the motor! Forward!
How far are we from the mainland?
About a half a mile, I should say.
Boy, if you don't think it'll be good to feel ground under my feet again.
Really?
What do we do after we get there?
That all depends.
Hey, you aren't fixing to double-cross me, are you?
Meaning what?
Maybe Williams was right. Maybe Roger hired you to take us through for a ride. Maybe...
Does the captain know why the professor is aboard the yacht? Will the Tiger Man tell all? Will the professor succeed in carrying out Roger's instructions? Preceding act, Tom and the Tiger Man rescued Hardy and Dorothy from the native village. Hardy radioed the Sabang police that he held Murphy and Williams prisoners aboard the yacht. Roger, chief lieutenant of the rubber thieves, bargained with the professor to prevent Murphy and Williams from reaching Semang. The professor, by a clever ruse, boarded the yacht at sea and fatally wounded Williams. Murphy and the professor escaped from the yacht, and while en route to shore, during a hand-to-hand battle, Murphy was lost at sea.
In the fight, Williams was killed, and Murphy and the man we picked up at sea went overboard.
And where did you pick up this mysterious person, Captain?
In the channel.
You'd recognize him again if you should see him, of course.
Certainly.
And you, Mr. Hardy, would you be able to identify him?
Oh, naturally.
Didn't he say who he was?
No, he didn't mention his name. Said he was a preacher, was fishing, and his boat sprung a leak.
But how did you know that you had Williams and Murphy with you?
For my mate. He took it upon himself to bring this so-called preacher to the prisoners. Thought they might need a little spiritual advice.
Well, that's sad, isn't it? Where's this Van Doren person called the Tiger Man?
Well, he's being held in the captain's cabin.
Oh, Mr. Hardy, would you mind dropping in at the Inspector McLeod's office with me?
I'd be glad to. Besides, I want to speak to the inspector on behalf of the Tiger Man. Well, thank you, Captain. And many thanks to you, Captain, for all you've done for us. And thanks for the dry clothes. I'll send them back to you.
Don't mention it.
Really? I tried to. I probably did. Dorothy, child, you must change your clothes. You can talk later.
Go ahead, Dorothy. I'll wait for you.
How about you, Mr. Vanny?
I must run along, child. Besides, two is company, you know.
I want to thank you again for sending Tom to our rescue. I'm so happy.
And I'm as happy as you are. Because now all our troubles are over. Good night, Dorothy.
Good night. I'll only be a few minutes.
I'll be right here.
Hello, Chang.
Chang, glad you come home, Miss Dahlia.
Thanks.
Isn't she a darling, Uncle Bob? And to think what she's gone through.
Yes, I know. It's been a tough ordeal all the way around. Not only the loss of the cargo and the ship, but especially the prisoners.
As far as I'm concerned, Williams and Murphy got just what they deserved.
Well, if they had returned, it would have been pretty tough on them. Well, my boy, I have an appointment, so I must run along. See you later.
Good night, Uncle Bob.
Good night. Yes. Well, send someone down to check on the professor. I understand he did a good job in carrying out orders.
I sent Singapore Joe to pay him off. He's with him now.
Outside. By the back way. Go. Go. Hurry. When storms are over, we look for their wrecks. So be it. Good evening, Mr. Starrett. The long arm of the law is far-reaching, I say.
Yes, Professor. Reaching out for you. The man you're hiding.
Me? Hiding a man.
You understand me, I think.
And just why should I be hiding a man?
Because you fit in perfectly with the description of a man picked up by the Banning yacht. Where's Murphy?
In 3 days, the sea gives up its
You
dead.
mean that...
I mean, the pirates of old used to say, dead men tell no tales, my friend.
Maybe not, but you can. You rescued Murphy from that yacht, and you know he's wanted by the police. Now, where is he?
A slight mistake, for which I am about to pay, my friend.
What's the matter? Something happened to him? Serious, I'm afraid.
Alas for Yorick. I knew him well. Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest.
Must be serious. You don't even remember our names.
Singapore. For you, all I possess and this, to celebrate in your own childish fashion passing of the professor. Singapore.
What a pal. What is it, man? If the professor's dying, I'm going to call the doctor.
Too late, my friends. The moving finger writes. And having writ moves on. Nor all your piety, nor wit, can call it back to
cancel half a line, nor all your tears. Wash out a word.
Roger was the only one I had any dealings with.
Then Roger issued all orders, transacted all business.
That's correct.
Verifies your report, Thompson. Roger is the man we want. When did you decide to split with Roger and his confederates?
The day they made Miss Elliot a prisoner in a cave.
But you joined Murphy and his accomplices aboard the Monsoon.
I was leaving Simon, and I booked a passage under the name Van Dorn.
But you worked with Murphy and his gang aboard the Monsoon. You plotted with them.
I realized that I could help Mr. Hardy and his guests if Murphy believed that I was still one of the gang.
He proved that, Inspector.
Why didn't you come to me with this information before sailing the Monsoon?
Well, I can answer that, too. You see, with Williams and Murphy suspicious, and the Tiger Man here being watched, it would have been suicide.
I just came from interviewing that old curio dealer, the professor.
And?
He was the so-called preacher picked up at sea all right.
Bring him in.
You'll never learn anything from him. He's done. Both he and Murphy are dead.
Understand. But I think we're going to learn something from Mr. Roger of the Southern Cross.
Hello, Singapore.
Well, I paid off the professor.
What did he say?
Here's his words exactly. Tell Rocher that his friends have gone to that barn where no traveler shall ever return.
Great, Singapore. Have a drink. Say when?
Yeah.
There you are, Singapore.
Do we need a chaser? No. I always like another little drink for a chaser.
I mean, yes. Oh, I don't know what I mean. I only know that I love you.
Oh, what is it, Chang?
Sorry, please. You don't want anything from food chip. Excuse.
Just a minute, Chang. Mr. Banning is hungry.
You look like you're plenty hungry. You look like you want to eat you up.
He never said a truer thing in his life.
He said, don't look now. But last night, oh, good heavens, here come the lions. Well, I think that's...
Oh, Bob, I've never seen you so hilarious. Celebrating the return of your nephew and the survivors of the shipwreck.
My dear, everything is going to be wonderful.
Yes.
Miss Shields, this is Ardana.
Yes. Hi.
Certainly. May I have the
Jane? Excuse me, Mr. Banning.
Certainly. Well, Roger, here's to a perfect day.
Can you slip away from your guests? I've got some important news.
Yes.
Valerie, will you excuse me a minute? I'll be back presently.
Is anything wrong, Bob?
My dear, how could anything be wrong when I'm with you? is it that's so important, Roger?
I just got word that Murphy and Williams have been definitely rubbed out.
Are you sure?
I got the professor's dying word for it.
So the professor's dead.
Stabbed by Murphy.
So Murphy's dead. First Williams, then Murphy, and now the professor. Who was it that said all good things go in threes, huh? Murphy's dead. You know, I wonder what Murphy would have thought if he realized that he was working for me. He was a good man, Roger, while he was alive, but a better man dead. We're really lucky to have gotten rid of him. So, here's to Murphy.
How about me drinking to that?
Murphy! You better put that gun down, Murphy. Let's talk this thing over sensibly.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Banning. So you're the big shot. What a laugh. Stand still, you yellow cur. You'd like to crawl out of here, wouldn't you? But there isn't a chance.
We'll help you, Murphy. If you'll only be reasonable.
You'll help me. You've proven that. Only the professor didn't strike quite deep enough.
Looking for a table, sir?
I'm looking for Mr. Roger.
He's up there, sir.
We're all going out together. Mr. Big Shot Banning and his yellow stooge. But we're going out feet first. Open. Police. Open up. All right. I'll open up. We'll be waiting for you. Me and the Big Shot. Robert Burley, that's who it is. Open up that door. Take it in. Well, here we are. The three of us. The Rat Rogers, who's through talking, and Mr. Big Shot Banning.
All right, Stanley. Let's get the thing over with.
Very well.
What is it? What's happened?
I'm sorry, Valerie, but I'm afraid this situation will take a lot of explaining.
Miss Shields, I'll have to ask you...
Just a minute, Starrett. Miss Shields knows nothing about all this.
I hope not. Come on.
There's no more time to nip a bottle on the line.
Hey, you sure you didn't know the professor?
No, I just had a scraping acquaintance with the professor.
Oh, he's a wonderful soul. A great character. Hey, sing again.
Yes. Weary feet, weary hands.
Wait a minute. No, not that.
Don't you like that song?
It reminds me of the professor. He died right in that chair.
Died in the chef chair? Well, now listen, Singapore. You was a better friend of the professor than I was. I think you ought to be sitting right in his chair. Yes. And follow his footsteps.
He was all right. So was Murphy. And Roger and Williams, they were all right. That's the trouble with this world.
everybody is all right.
No more sleepy time. My soul seems to pine for those good old days of yore.
Do you agree, Mr. Banning, that you make this confession of your own free will?
What else is there for me to do? I gave it to you, didn't I?
You realize the seriousness of it?
Why all this interrogation? I've answered all those questions before.
Sign here, please. Starrett, you've done a fine bit of work in this. You should be congratulated.
Thank you. I'm afraid Mr. Starrett will have to share the honors with Mr. Hardy. Mr. Hardy getting the lion's share, of course. And speaking of lions, Mr. Hardy, what a pity it was that one of those wild beasts didn't devour you long ago.
That, my friend, is a slight detail which you, somehow or other, overlooked.
Undoubtedly.
Won't you have a cigarette?
Thank you.
And a light.
You know, Hardy, someday we'll meet again.
When we do, I'm afraid we'll both be much too old to do anything about it, Mr. Banning.
Oh, yes, of course.